Yesterday at the Heroes Day National Honors and Awards ceremony, more than 200 Jamaicans were honored for their contribution to nation building. We salute all you who are making a tremendous impact on society through your chosen fields and professions. Welcome, I'm Oroya Eubanks. In today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we spent some time with 3 of our national awardees who overcame major challenges. The news is first on the lineup, and then we explore the other pages of the magazine.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Tuesday, October 21. Government has set guidelines for the operations of funeral homes and mortuaries as part of plans to intensify Jamaica's readiness for the Ebola virus. The guidelines are contained in a handbook which was issued to the president of the Funeral Directors Association, Winston Roman, on Tuesday. The handbook specifies how to care and store bodies and outlines principles governing embalming, record keeping, and solid waste disposal. Ebola is a highly contagious virus which can be transmitted from a dead body. The guidelines also make it mandatory for operators of funeral homes to provide adequate protective clothing for their employees and train them to remove that protective clothing properly.
We want to ensure that the accepted standards are being utilized to prevent any kind of transmission of infections. The purpose of the guidelines really is to formalize the system and ensure that all operators are aware of the protocols, as well as the advice that should be given to family members and others involved in burials to reduce their exposure to infectious diseases.
In the meantime, the health minister will be leading a delegation to Cuba to seek support in light of the threat of Ebola. Meanwhile, healthcare professionals at the island's ports will soon receive additional temperature sensing machines to detect if travelers have a fever. On Friday, Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson handed over 4 of the handheld machines to the quarantine department of the Norman Manley International Airport. The machines, which were donated by the Prime Minister's husband, Harold Miller, cost between $200 and $300.
We have ordered a number of additional machines that will come in, and we have had some commitments from both Food for the Poor and other institutions that they are willing to help to increase the number of these machines.
Discussions are also ongoing with a corporate entity for a larger scanner at ports to deal with the large volume of cruise ship passengers. In the meantime, the Health Ministry is also intensifying its Ebola training sessions across the country. Sessions have already been completed at the Norman Manley and Sangster International Airports.
I went through a session on Ebola with the NMIL workers. So we are continuing. We have a full training schedule to include the health sector and other sectors. We have also started with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association group. So it's a wide cross-section, and of course our emergency service workers, the first responders, are also on that schedule, and it's island-wide.
233 individuals were recognized for their contribution to nation building at the annual National Honors and Awards on Heroes Day. 8 persons received the Order of Jamaica at the ceremony, which was held at King's House. The Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander was conferred on 36 individuals, while 51 persons were conferred with an OD in the officer class. The largest group comprised of persons receiving honors for meritorious and long and faithful service. Meanwhile, the Badge of Honor for Gallantry went to 11-year-old Tony Ann Miller for rescuing 2 brothers who were trapped in a burning house in 2013. Corporal Octavia Brooks of the Jamaica Defence Force received the Medal of Honor for Gallantry for rescuing 3 ladies from the Rio Cobra along the Bogwalk Gorge. Corporal Everton Henry of the Jamaica Constabulary Force also received the Medal of Honor for Gallantry after he disarmed a gunman and saved the life of a colleague. Woman Constable Shireen Bailey was also honoured for assisting a gunshot victim. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller used her Heroes Day message to assure Jamaicans that government is taking the chikungunya and Ebola viruses seriously. The Prime Minister said the government was doing everything possible to prevent the Ebola virus from entering Jamaica, even as it deals with the CHIKV outbreak.
The CHIKV health emergency presents all of us with the opportunity to be modern-day heroes and heroines in our own right. In this regard, the fight to ensure the health of the nation can only be won if we all display personal responsibility in our homes, workplaces, and communities.
In the meantime, opposition leader Andrew Holness used his Heroes Day message to salute ordinary Jamaicans who display heroic acts by working hard and contributing to national development.
The challenges we face as a country may seem overwhelming at times, and our efforts are sometimes frustrated. But we must never give up our faith and belief that things can be better. We must never lose our conviction to make things better.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching. Chikungunya is a viral infection transmitted when an Aedes aegypti mosquito bites an infected person and then bites someone else. Symptoms include high fever, headache, joint pain, muscle pain, and rash. If you suspect that you've been infected, take paracetamol such as Panadol, Cetamol, and Tylenol. Infants, children under 5 years old, pregnant women, the elderly, persons with sickle cell, and chronic illnesses such as diabetes and cardiovascular disease are at risk for more severe symptoms and must see a doctor for proper evaluation and monitoring. Fortunately, most cases of CHIKV are mild, but if your symptoms worsen, you need to see a doctor. For more info, call 1-888-1-LOVE from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That number again, 1-888-663-5683.
Prime Minister says government is doing everything possible to prevent Ebola from entering Jamaica. Plans intensified to contain the spread of chikungunya. And Jamaicans urged to draw inspiration from ancestors to help overcome challenges. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller announced last Tuesday that the government was intensifying plans to stop the Ebola virus from entering Jamaica. She was speaking at a special meeting with members of Parliament and other key stakeholders at the Jamaica House. By Thursday, the government issued an immediate travel ban against persons coming directly or indirectly from the 3 West African countries most affected by the Ebola outbreak. The ban extends to those living in Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, and those who have traveled to or through the 3 countries 28 days before coming to Jamaica. Jamaican citizens who have traveled to these countries within 28 days of coming to the island will be quarantined in the interest of public health and national security. At the special meeting at Jamaica House, the Prime Minister said an integrated national coordinating team headed by the Ministry of Health and the Jamaica Defence Force would lead Jamaica's preparation for the Ebola virus.
All required emergency protocols and procedures will be rehearsed several times, over and over again, to reinforce skills and reduce of the risk of breaches. Simulation exercises are also being planned. Importantly, follow-up will be done to confirm understanding and ensure achievement of training objectives.
The government has requested assistance from Cuba to train healthcare workers and first responders. Temperature sensing machines have also been handed over to the Norman Manley International Airport to screen passengers for fever, one of the symptoms of Ebola. Protective gear has been issued for healthcare professionals, and an isolation facility has been identified and retrofitted specifically for Ebola. And the Prime Minister also placed special focus on Jamaica's handling of the chikungunya virus.
I sympathize with those persons who have come down with this painful illness.
Mrs. Simpson-Miller announced that each parliamentarian would have access to $2 million, while each parish council would have access to $5 million to carry out cleanup exercises across the country. The funds are part of the $500 million allocation to stem the spread of the chikungunya virus.
The objective is to reduce mosquito breeding sites, starting with the worst affected areas, as indicated by the mapping that has been done by the Ministry of Health.
Minister with responsibility for sport Natalie Nita Headley has supported a program which uses sport to build leadership qualities and strengthen the skills of young people. The Build Jamaica program, which was officially launched on Thursday at 3 Hills St. Mary, will train scores of young people in leadership.
Build Jamaica has already begun to use sports-based training integrated into our sports clubs and local community groups in order to enhance the competencies of our young people and equip them with knowledge and leadership skills.
The Beckwith International Leadership Development Builder Program is named after Sir John Beckwith and managed by Sport International Inspiration in the United Kingdom. The program is also supported by Youth Sport Trust International and funded by the Top Foundation. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller was represented at the annual Courtney Walsh Awards for Excellence. Minister of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change Robert Pickersgill attended the ceremony on behalf of the Prime Minister. 100-meter sprinter and Olympic 4x100-meter gold medalist Michael Frater copped the award. Other nominees were netballer Romelda Aiken, boxer Tetsi Lights Out Davis, and 400-meter sprinter Novlin Williams-Mills. Minister Pickersgill congratulated the awardees and underscored that government was committed to sport through the national sports policy.
The objective is to create a dynamic and enabling environment in which persons enjoy and excel in sport at all levels, while building strong bonds of unity in their communities. At the same time, we are encouraging economic opportunities.
National Heroes Day presents an opportunity for us to recapture the fighting spirit of our ancestors as we work as one people, shaping a better future together.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller in her Heroes Day message to the nation. She encouraged Jamaicans to draw inspiration from ancestors and never lose hope.
No matter what the challenges are that confront us, as Jamaicans, it is not in our character to allow hopelessness and despair to overcome us. We never give up hope. We never have, and we never will.
And so the Prime Minister took time out on Monday to celebrate the achievements of 233 individuals at the National Honours and Awards ceremony on the lawns of King's House. The individuals who were awarded provided exceptional service to various sectors of society. And finally, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Natalie Nita Headley, met Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan when he arrived at the Norman Manley International Airport Wednesday night.
I welcome you wholeheartedly to this soil, this beautiful place that I know you call home.
Minister Farrakhan gave the main address on Sunday at the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March at the National Arena. The Million Man March was first held in Washington, D.C. in 1995, drawing nearly 2 million African American men as part of a movement for atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. And those were just some of the stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister in the preceding week. Join us next week for an update of activities.
Longing for flexible work hours? Well, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is ready to give you just that through its new flexi-time arrangement. This means both you and your employer can arrange the traditional 40-hour work week in a way that best suits your needs and that of the organization to which you are employed. So expect a shorter work week, more family or business time, more jobs through part-time work opportunities, reduced traffic during peak hours, improved customer service due to varied opening hours, reduced absenteeism, and much more. So come on, balance work, balance life with FlexiTime.
So a range of Jamaicans from various classes and backgrounds have received national awards in various fields. I was so proud to see 11-year-old Tonian Miller, who received an award for gallantry due to her brave action that saved 2 children from a burning house last year. I was equally proud of those who've turned their so-called disabilities into opportunities for representing brand Jamaica on the international stage. We now share a moment with the 3 Paralympians who were honored.
It's ability that matters, not disability. This is the personal philosophy of so many Jamaicans who are living, thriving, and even excelling with disabilities. Among them, 3 of our nation's athletes who have received the Order of Distinction for their contribution to the field of sport. Tanta Mandela Campbell was born with only 4 fingers on his right hand and 2 on his left. It's a congenital deformity that also affected his legs. Shortly after birth, the decision was taken to amputate both his legs.
I was in the institution here at Mona Rehab at the age of 5. They started the program in 1996. It was there before, but they resumed it back. What happened is that we have to participate in other activities such as sports. And then at the 2001, I decided to take part in athletics by going to the field events. However, I continued training. I got selected in 2002 to be a part of a national team at the athletics level, and from there the journey starts.
Like many Jamaicans who live with a disability, Tanta Campbell had his share of challenges.
I went to Oak Valley Primary School. What happened is that at that time we are all ignorant to this disability. So they will tease you, trouble you, but eventually you get over that hump and you meet some friends, and friends start to understand the disability. Then after that I graduated from the primary school and go to Papine High School, where I'm the president. I become the president of the student council body. And I gain that respect by socializing, show them not be afraid, and they respect me for that.
He eventually got his big break in 2001 when he moved from national competitions to the world stage. And it is at this level that he has brought glory to his country, gaining a host of medals throughout his career. Like Tanto, Alphonso Cunningham got his start at the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center, more commonly referred to as Mona Rehab. They call him Ambassador, a good name for a man who has done an excellent job representing his country.
I used to see the senior guys used to throw the field events and stuff, so I used to go out there and pick up for them. But I never enjoyed, because that wasn't my thing. I like challenge things like basketball, the contact sports and stuff. So when I look at field events, I'm like, that's throwing out. And I thought I have to throw like way over the wall or something to really get a medal or be a champion. But, by my coach, Never Sinclair, he taught us that no, it's not like that. We have different categories. I do it in 2003, and then I get picked on the team. He said he qualified for the British Opening in Birmingham, England, where I won 2 gold in javelin and discus.
As a Paralympian, Alphonso has won some major awards in his illustrious career, including gold in the discus through at the 2003 World Games in Birmingham, England, gold in the discus at the 2011 Pan American Games in Mexico, and gold in javelin at the 2012 Paralympic Games in London. In 2014, he also won at the Athens Paralympic Games in Greece and set a world record in the discus throw. Sylvia Grant is another record-breaking Paralympian. She remains Jamaica's most decorated female Paralympian with more than 25 years of experience in the field of sport. Her medals include silver in both the pentathlon and javelin events at the 1988 Paralympics in Korea, gold in the discus throw in 1999 at the Pan American Games Mexico, and gold again in the USA America's Cup in discus in 2010.
When I used to go to Oak Valley Experimental, I used to do track, and I was good at it. And then I see them out here do swimming, basketball, field events, and a lady in it named Minette Wilson. She said, you can come and join it, And I said, all right, and I tried. And when I tried, the team was going to a Pan Am game. I never get picked. But I never feel any way. And then Professor said, okay, 88, you're not going to miss this one. And when I went to the 88 in Seoul, I get 3 silver medals. The first one was pentathlon. And what is a pentathlon? You have to do 5 events. Javelin, discus, shot put, and 200 and 1500.
Sylvia has overcome great odds to be where she is today. Abandoned by her parents because of her condition, she found a home and family at Mona Rehab.
It was rough. I was born at Port Antonio Hospital. My mom come leave me here when I was 3 months old and never come back. I feel great because what I am coming from, a mother don't take care of me. You know, I grew up here at the hospital. I mean, I receive all of those medals. I feel so great.
Today, Sylvia is a mother, grandmother, and star athlete who got the keys to the city of Kingston in December 2013. Tanta, Alfonso, and Sylvia have all excelled in their field, but they're especially happy to be receiving national honors.
I feel good. I feel good about it because right now I'm glad that they're recognizing the disabled now for getting everything now. They put us in it now, so I feel grateful for that.
It is superb. Why I say that? Because finally they recognize different able. Not that different able person did not achieve other national awards, but at least we are getting the recognition. It's a great achievement, and hopefully can encourage other different able to come in, not only sports, but contribute to something else.
Me and Tantu, Sylvia, the rest of Paralympians, making that drive to continue to do well, continue to inspire people, continue to just make an impact on people's life and giving back and show them, there is a hope. Through sports, through any little thing you're doing, just believe in yourself and know you can do it.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
That quote from the great Nelson Mandela reminds us that we all are capable of greatness, even if there is no spotlight shining on our actions. Do you know anyone who that may apply to? And who do you consider to be an everyday hero?
My mother is an everyday hero because if it wasn't for her and my father, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I consider them, both parents, to be heroes.
All the fathers that stand up for them children and family. Some of them do good, like for instance, I would say a good example then, a good politician, a good teacher, a good somebody who can do something good for the public, you understand? Make everybody feel nice and less stressed, you understand what I mean?
My everyday hero is mainly some of the women that you see on the sidewalk. They are sole breadwinners for families, and there's no father, and they take up responsibility for both parties. They are my heroes.
This is one time we don't want you to laugh.
Staying safe on the road is a serious thing.
Mr. Taxi driver and bus driver, take time, man. People, so one-stop driver and come off.
Cyclists, motorcyclists, pedestrian, all road users using the head.
Only if you use cell phone and drive. No, man.
Idiot thing that.
Road safety is no laughing matter.
Because we want you to be around
and laughing with us for a long time.
A message from the National Road Safety Council and National Health Fund.
Survivors never quit. And we continue our Tuesday highlight of some brave and strong Jamaican breast cancer survivors for this Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
You're a survivor, preserved for God's plan.
I would normally do my mammogram in October, but in September of 2010, I felt 2 small lumps under my arm. I was more or less a little frightened because I am very health conscious. Right? It happened on a Thursday, so I went to my doctor on the Friday and I showed her. And she examined it and she gave me some antibiotic that was a black dot. You know, it would be removed by the medicine in the antibiotic. But it didn't remove, so then she sent me to Dr. Faye Alexander, and then she confirmed that it was cancer.
You're sufficed with a wealth of hope and resilience.
After I went to my GP, he sent me to a surgeon, and he examined me, and then he explained to me what he would have to do. He gave me several options, whether I want to keep the breast, remove the lump, or just get rid of the breast. I opt for getting rid of the breast because, you know, I just feel sure that, okay, when I get rid of it, it can't come back again in that breast. So I had long hair, so I make sure to cut my hair off, that when I start to lose it, nobody would say, you know, and what's happened to your hair and things like that, because they would have used to my hair being short already. So I did that, and when it started to fall off, I got a wig made, and then the treatment started. I did 17, I think it was 18 treatments, and the last one was this medication called Herceptin, which was very expensive, but I got help from my church, I got help from Ministry of Health, I got help from Face the Commodity and my friends, and they stood behind me in prayers. I can tell you right now, the chemo wasn't very nice, you know, you feel sick, but I didn't allow it to bother me so much. Even though I felt sick, I know exercise will be good. So I walked 1.5 miles every day. Yes, I didn't stop from work. I think I only stopped from work once. Yes, and I walked to and from work. One of the things I did, which I am thankful for, I stay away from anyone who would speak negatively about breast cancer. And anybody who has breast cancer, any woman or anybody who has cancer, I would advise them to stay away from people who speak negatively, because that would only, you know, sort of discourage you and make you want to give up. But I didn't give up. Even though I saw my nails start to turn black, my hair fell off, my complexion got black, man, you know, everything that you didn't expect. But because I had a good doctor, they sort of walked me through everything what I would go through, and I felt very confident, and with God as my guide, I know I could beat cancer. And I would advise people, you know, just once you see something, as a matter of fact, don't even wait. Make sure you do your test, especially women, do your mammogram every year. It is good.
If you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way, said author Napoleon Hill. Maybe you didn't get a national award or you've never achieved public acclaim, but you can make a positive difference to someone's life. So keep being an everyday hero. We welcome your feedback, so drop us a line by sending an email to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. If you want to see today's program or any of our features, then check us out on YouTube at Watch JIS. You can also connect with us by Facebook and Twitter. On behalf of the hardworking JIS production team, I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Keep making a difference.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.